What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to another video here today. I will be going over which created player archetypes and positions I think you guys should be choosing for your Diamond Dynasty team and which ones to stay away from. So let's just get right into it. We're going to start off with the catcher. This is definitely one of my top 5 that you should for sure get. Since there's not a lot of catchers out in the game, and especially not a lot of balanced catchers, this is definitely one I think you should get. I'm just going to go over all the different stats for all 3 and then tell you guys my choices on which ones I think. So this is the stats for the balanced catcher. As you can see, it has some powers, pretty good contact, and pretty good fielding as well. Speed's a little low. I definitely advise on any created character getting the gold cleats that have 10 plus speed. Those are the ones I have. So pretty much I add 10 speed to any character I'm looking at. So I think that helps a lot when looking at them. The contact is not bad either. It has really great fielding, great contact, but this card's not going to be able to hit any home runs. Just depends on what you want for your team. And then we have the power focus. I wouldn't really do the power focus just based on 70 fielding, 65 reaction. You're probably going to get a lot of balls that go past him. Yeah, he has great power, but his contact's still low anyways. So I would choose between balance and contact for the catcher. I think those are the 2 best archetypes. First base, I would just completely stay away from, to be honest. The fielding on these cards are horrible. Bat focus, 62 fielding, terrible. Yeah, he could hit the ball if that's all you need him for. Maybe as a DH, I would put him on my team if I don't have any other. I would just put him on my bench and use him as a pinch hitter. That's pretty much it. And then balanced, even then, 67 fielding. I just would stay away from that card. Anything under about 70 to 75 fielding, I would just stay away from. I don't like making errors as it is. I make a lot of errors, so I definitely don't want to get someone that has that low of fielding on my team. Second base isn't too bad of a card. It wouldn't be my first choice just based on there is a lot of second basemen or a lot of infielders you can get in this position. The contact card is not bad. Great fielding, obviously. If you add the 10 speed, he's really fast with 85 speed. Great contact. That's really what you're using him for with this card. Maybe bat him in the top of your lineup or towards the end of your lineup, depending on where you want him. Speed focus is all right. You don't really need arm strength at second base, so this card's not too bad either. I know the fielding is low, but you still have 83 fielding. For some reason, it's a silver just based off of arm accuracy. But since you're playing second base, you shouldn't have too many problems getting it to first. Contact and speed is up high, so this is a pretty good card as well. I would stay away from balance just based off of fielding on this card is not great, and since you're getting 2 other great options on here, I would just stay away from it. Yeah, your second baseman won't be a home run hitter if you choose one of these 2 archetypes. But I think this one's the best. The contact focus 2 is the best. Yeah, you don't get home runs, but you're pretty much good at everything, and you have amazing fielding, so you shouldn't have any problems. Third base has some good archetypes as well. It's not, once again, it's one of my middle of the pack choices, but definitely something I would look into. If you need a third baseman, if that's the position you're looking for. They're pretty balanced options for third base. There's really can't go wrong with which options you choose. The balanced one is good. As you can see, 75 fielding is a little low, but you have the 83 arm strength to get it from third. You have pretty good hitting stats and decent speed, especially if, once again, you give that plus 10 boost. Not bad. Power focus, the fielding's a little low, 72, a little bit lower than I would like it, but you do get that 94 power versus right, 91 power versus left. Speed's a little low as well, but if you're batting cleanup with this person, 3 or 4 or 5, somewhere in there, wouldn't be too bad of a card. Contact's a little low, of course, but overall, pretty balanced card. Fielding, I think, is one of the better options with that 81 power versus right, 79 against left. Decently low contact, but not terrible. And then you have the great fielding stats from third, great arm accuracy, great arm strength, so you really shouldn't have any problems throwing out any fast runners or anything like that. Just a quick tip also, I just, looking at what hand I throw, if I was going to switch him to the infield, I actually use him at left field right now, so that's why I have him throwing left-handed, but definitely switch him to right-handed if you're going to have him playing third, second, or short. You definitely don't want a left-hander trying to play the infield. That's just for outfield pitching. And catcher, you want right-handed as well. This card, I think, is the most balanced. Yeah, you don't get a lot of speed, but you have great fielding, great arm accuracy. You'll make all the throws you need. So this is the one I would choose. I would choose fielding, but if you go with balanced or power, you really wouldn't have any bad choices with that. And once again, with this one's not bad either. Great contact, fielding 75, it's all right. Speed 86, so this one's going to be speedy for you with some contact. Obviously no power, fielding's a little low, but not bad. Definitely, they're all viable to use. As you can see, this one's only 88, so technically the stats are a little bit lower. But I would definitely use the third baseman if the fielding focus if I was using a third baseman, but all of them are viable. Once again, I would stay away from the shortstop. That's another position. I just don't think the cards are that great. You can get a lot better shortstops on your team. We'll go over this one's the fielding. If you're going to use a shortstop, I would definitely go with just the fielding one. You don't want to make errors at your shortstop. That's a huge fielding position. So the 94 fielding, 88 arm strength, 92 arm accuracy, and 90 reaction is going to be great here with the 93 speed. Hitting stats are pretty low. You can use this card if you just want to field, put it in the bottom of your lineup, maybe get some bunts to move people around. That's pretty much what it's going to be good for. Contact's not going to be that high. You're definitely not hitting anything deep with the power. But the fielding's great on that card. The contact focus, 76 fielding for my shortstop. I just don't like it. As it is, I have a Fernando Tatis, and he still makes errors. So this is definitely not something I want to look into. He has 90 contact and 88 speed, but not the best choice for just based off the position. You can get way better cards. That won't cost too much either. Once again, only 76 fielding, decently balanced hitting stats. But I think it's more useful in other positions, and I'd rather spend money on a shortstop and go put this guy in maybe second or third if you're going to put him in the infield. This card, once again, contact's really low. You have the power, but 73 fielding, 76 arm accuracy. You might be making some errors at the shortstop position, so I just stay away from that. And then I'm going to go through all the outfielders. Pretty much any of the outfielders are going to be viable. But I like the left fielding better than the right fielder. I would just move him out of position. I know it does hurt the stats a little bit, I believe, if you move him out of position. But I like the cards better and the archetypes that you're able to choose in left field a lot better. So I don't really like this card. Don't like the speed focus just based off of it. Has contact, has the speed. But in left field, this isn't really the type of archetype you're going to go for. I actually use the balanced archetype, which I think for left field is a great one because you don't need too much arm strength or arm accuracy since you should only be throwing to either to cutoff or to third. 68 speed isn't great, but since I get that plus 10, it goes up to 78, and his hitting stats are all decent. Low 80s is not bad. He does get on base for me decently well. He has home runs every once in a while as well, which isn't bad. And then he has hitting machine and bomber, which helps with deep and just obviously base hits. But I like the arm focus, but if I was going to get arm focus, I would probably move him to right field. Just based off of he has the power, but his arm strength and arm accuracy is where I would want to move him to right field. It's not bad in left field either. It's always great to have more arm strength and arm accuracy. But if I would put him in right field just because that arm strength would be huge if you put him in right field instead of left field. It would be a lot easier to throw people out at third from pop flies or anything like that, or even cut off to home would be a lot better. And you get extremely strong throwing arm cannon, the sniper, and then you also still get the bomber on this. So I like the left fielders, probably the best out of the outfield, but they're all viable options. That's one of the best parts about the outfield cards is they're pretty viable. The power focus center fielder is a pretty good card with the 80 fielding, 90 arm strength, 87 arm accuracy, 79 reaction. The 70 speed, once again, you add 10 to that for me. That would be 80 speed, not bad. And then, as you can see, 86 power versus right, 80 power versus left. And contact's not the greatest, but you're going to get a pretty good fielding card, and he's still pretty good at hitting, so not bad. The balance is not bad at all either because you still get great fielding stats. Your contact goes up, your power goes down, and your speed goes up. So this card's pretty good as well if you want to get more speed. Obviously, your power won't be high. You won't be hitting a lot of home runs with him, but not a bad option. Contact, another great option. You're going to get a lot of fielding. Speed's going to be great. Contact's going to be great. Power is going to go down. But you get bunting. Maybe this is a great card to put in bunting situations. I personally wouldn't choose this option just because from center field I would want choose one of the other options with better arm strength and arm accuracy. But if you're not too worried about that and you like all the other stats, definitely this is someone that you could use. I just personally wouldn't choose it. I think there's better options between the power, balanced, and speed. I wouldn't choose speed either, just based off of the contact and power is low and the arm accuracy and arm strength. But if you really just want him for fielding and speed around the bases, maybe some drag bunt situations, things like that, you'll definitely get a really fast speedster. You can steal a lot of bases with this card. You'll basically have maxed out speed and your fielding, so you're be good in that aspect, but not going to be the best card for hitting. I would say between balanced and power if I was to choose, but if you're going to choose one of these two, I would probably go with the speed over contact. For the right fielder, I don't really like the options that they give you. Power focus, you don't get 67 fielding, just not going to cut it. You're going to be causing a lot of errors, especially with that low speed. If they hit it down the first baseline, that's pretty much going to be a triple. Arm strength really isn't even that good. That's why I said I actually like putting the left fielder here. He actually has better fielding stats, and he still has good hitting stats, and I believe he has better speed too. So I think I would rather use the left fielder than this right fielder. Bat focus is going to be purely basically batting. You have good arm strength, but once again, 63 fielding. I just do not like that in right field. I just really don't like 63 fielding overall. This year, you seem to make a lot more errors if you don't have good fielding. So this is just a card I would stay away from. And balanced is not a bad one for right field. If I was going to choose a right field card, this is probably the one I would go with. 86 contact versus right, 81 contact versus left. You have decent fielding stats. Arm strength and arm accuracy are a little bit low for right field, but you do get a lot of speed to make up for that. Once again, I would probably put the arm strength left fielder and right field. That would just be my preference. I think it's going to work out better just because you'll have that extra arm strength. But if you don't want to and you want to choose a right fielder and not play the person out of position, then I would probably go with this balanced right fielder. That seems to be the best. And let's go over the pitchers. So for pitchers, just stay away from the starters. I mean, the velocity starter isn't the worst. This is probably the only one I would choose. The four seam's only 95 miles per hour. Your control and clutch is pretty low. Brake is pretty low. I would stay away from this. Yeah, you do have at least a high K through 9 on this. That's why I said I would only choose velocity. Control is pretty terrible. It's great against walks, but 91 mile per hour four seam is not going to get it done. They're going to be hitting base hits or home runs off of that all day. And this brake focus doesn't even get a four seam. I really don't like it. The velocity is going to be slow. All you're going to be throwing is breaking balls. I mean, I guess if you want to use them and try them out, I guess you could try it. But I just do not like this card at all. You just be throwing all breaking balls, no velocity, and you need some velocity. So I wouldn't say that. I would go with the closer if I was going to go with the pitcher. Pretty much all of them are decent. 99 brake, 93 velocity, 97 clutch. Hit through 9 is 99, K through 9, 91. So not a bad card. Pretty much any of these are good. It just depends on what you want. 93 velocity, 88 brake, 87 control, K through 9 is 93, hit through 9 is 93. So as you can see, this one's pretty balanced as well. Your four seam is going to be a 98 mile per hour. That really slow changeup, and then you have a pretty fast slider to throw them off too with that breaking ball. So not a bad pitcher. And velocity as well, 99 mile per hour four seam. Cutter is going to be at 97. Once again, your changeup is going to be at 71. You only have the 82 brake, 65 control. I would probably stay away from this one if I was to choose. I would say I would either go with the balance or braking, just because the control is going to be a lot better. Only 65 control, whereas these ones you get 87 and 79. So those are a lot more viable options, I believe. I would probably go with the balance closer just because you're going to get that 98 mile per hour fastball. You get that slider and changeup, 88 brake, 95 clutch. Your hit and K through 9 is both 93. Walk through 9 is 86. Your home run through 9 is only a 74, a little bit lower than I would like, but you kind of have to give up something, right? And pressure cooker, you do better when there's runners on base. Excels at limiting base hits, striking people out, limiting walks, and throws an extremely effective fastball. So those are good quirks to have, and he also has the extreme effective changeup. So those are great perks to have on a pitcher, especially a closing pitcher. A lot of people got the Rich Gossage, which I don't really like him, so I might be picking up this pitcher and using him later in the year once I get better players in other positions. But all in all, pretty much all of these created players are viable. The only ones I would really stay away from are first base, shortstop, and I would say to stay away from right field as well. I just think using the left fielder, even if you put him in right field, is a lot better off. Second base is all right. Wouldn't be my first option. The best options, I believe, is catcher. Pitcher, if you really need a pitcher, it's not a bad option. Center fielder, left fielder, and third base. Those are the ones that I would say would be best. First base, second base, shortstop, and right field are definitely the weaker of the bunch. I think if you need one to go with and you don't have someone in that position, I would go with catcher. Just because you don't want to have a catcher with low fielding stats. There's not a lot of catchers out there unless they start getting expensive. So it's easier to find other positions, so I would just go with the catcher. Thanks, guys, for tuning into this video. Let me know if you guys have different thoughts on this, or what you guys think, if you have any questions about some of these. And as always, guys, leave a like if you enjoyed the video, and subscribe if you want to see more, and I will see you guys next time.